Tate Attia, you're the brand manager?
I am. Yeah,
like the brand, like at the top.
Well,
a little expectation there with a brand like Bentley.
I have bosses.
Don't we all?
But look, anybody who manages the brand, that's the heart. I'm just telling you right now.
Listen, we just took a little look at the Vanquish that you unveiled.
Yeah.
First of all, I appreciate that there are 4 tailpipes.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear how it sounds, but that may be my new favorite. That is a gorgeous vehicle.
It's a twin turbo V12. There's no hybrid. There's no electric.
It probably goes about as fast
pure
as
muscle.
Internal combustion.
Through
so it sounds good.
Unapologetic.
It's got a good sound.
It sounds good.
So let us know. Do you get to like drive these on a test track, or do you just not?
I do. I drove a Bentley here today from Northern Virginia. It's a dream. You know, it's a dream come true to do that. You know.
So you probably woke up in a luxury dealership. I'm kidding.
No,
that was a joke.
no. Started
Give us
bottom,
the
worked my way
roots.
up.
Yeah. Like,
you know,
where did you start in the auto industry?
Finished college, sold used cars. Worked for a local dealership here that only sells used cars. Worked my way up to Hyundai. And this is back when power windows and air conditioning was optional.
It was a real feature.
It was an option, right? Back in the early days of the Accent.
I don't know
right?
that my kids would know what to do if they saw a car with a handle.
Dude, when I first started selling Kias, it was the same thing. Roll that joker up, just like that. It's wild.
Okay, so
Hyundai to Lexus, Lexus to Maserati, now Bentley Aston Martin.
Wow. So, obviously, it's all dealing with people, right?
Yes.
But there's different expectations as you go from a consumer experience perspective. It's not just the car.
Yes.
And I think as an industry, we can always look to luxury providers no matter what. I don't care if you're, looking at like Nordstrom or looking at a Bentley store or looking at whatever, like the experiences that are required at that level can be drafted on everywhere else. Like, what's the expectation of experience when you get to that level?
It's a very high expectation, right? I always kind of compare it to what I do is not that much different than what goes on at a BMW or even a Toyota dealership. But the difference is this isn't that guy's first car.
Right.
And this is his, it might be the 10th car in his garage
currently,
now. Right? So he's already bought cars. He's already bought his first car. He's already made mistakes. He's been through the ringer. A lot of times they're even asking you questions they already know the answer to just to find out what kind of person you are, right? The stakes are 10 times higher, right? The cars I sell are 10 times more expensive, right? Average car is 40 grand or something like that, right? Mine is 400. Average salesperson might get, 12 stabs at a customer in a week. I'm getting 1.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
If that guy walks out at a Toyota dealership, you got another guy right behind him.
And he's got
in
lots of
hours,
options, the guy that walks out.
Right.
Right.
At this level, if that guy walks out, he can get in his private jet and fly to Florida and go to a dealership there.
And they'll take
it
their
shipped
best
back on
right?
a closed,
Exactly.
all that
right.
stuff.
So the stakes are a little higher.
Okay.
Yeah. What does that interaction look like when there's a sales engagement at a store like that?
Yeah. It's pretty normal.
He puts his shoes on.
It's pretty normal. You
like,
think it's some magical
Pinky up, see this at a placemat, right?
Yeah, you want to hear that it's some, he comes in with gold bullion and,
right?
it's some guy walks in,
It's like the new V12 is really great, huh?
Just like the average consumer, he's searched videos on YouTube. He's listened to podcasts about cars. He's pretty much already figured out which car he wants.
Made his mind up. Yeah.
It's just a matter of, do I want this color, that color, this color? He's got to fall in love with one. Talk about the pricing, whether you're going to finance it, lease it, buy it, pay cash, whatever you're doing, and it's.
All right. Let me
not
ask
that
you this.
much different.
Okay. So, go ahead. Continue.
What I will say is a lot of it is relationship based. Right? Because my clientele is so far fewer between, I can't just sit around waiting for the next person to walk in. I have to make once I find out that this guy's into Bentleys and he's buying cars, I got to be his buddy because he's going to buy another one and another one and another one and another one, and I want to be the only person he's buying them from.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a little bit more of the relationship building on that sense.
So are you familiar with Will Guidara, Unreasonable Hospitality, 11 Madison Park? Have you heard of that book?
I have heard of it. I have not read it
That's
yet.
fine. You should read it, by the way.
You
should read it. There's an essence of that book that talks about like hospitality being more about intentionality than spending a lot of money. And I think when non-ultra luxury dealers, Highline or Toyota dealers, or right as you go down, think like, oh, well, they have a lot of money to spend on these engagements and these people to do these fancy things. But in reality, I think there's simpler things that you probably do and deploy that can communicate a luxury experience that don't actually cost a lot of money but are more procedural.
Sure.
Can you share some of those?
Yeah, so it's definitely more personal, right? When you're buying something along these lines, and that's part of the reason they are buying it from us is because they want something more personal. For example, you can walk into a Mercedes dealership and pick out an S-Class, and they've got a black one and a silver one and a white one, and you're on your way, and it's no big deal, and you get a black interior, or a gray interior, and that's your choice.
Right.
With ours, it's much more personal. There's not 3 colors. Bentley has 217 colors on their standard list.
What?
Yeah. So... And then,
217 colors?
if you'd rather
See, I
have
didn't even
it-
know that.
if
I
you-
knew that there was some more custom.
How do
with
you fall in love
217.
with one?
How do you pick?
If
Impossible.
you'd rather not have one of those 217 and would rather choose a color that matches your classic Porsche, we can do that too. The options, you can choose your woods, your carbon fibers, your painted veneers,
Everything. Well, right. It's very
down to
customized.
so in that sense, there's a little bit more going along with it in that sense. but-
Sure.
Yeah.
When it comes to what people expect, they obviously expect personal treatment. It's a very customizable personal product.
Sure.
What is the one thing that you can do to make sure that you'll never see that customer again? What's the assumption you can make about
One
them?
thing?
Just give me one.
I don't know if I can narrow it down to one.
I know what's one of the most common things.
He's
honestly,
like, I picked my nose one time. It got weird. No.
these people, they're titans of industry. They're the best of the best at what they do. So they've dealt with problems before. So one thing that we can't do is try to cover a problem. If there's a problem, look, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, we've got an issue. Here's what we're doing to handle it.
Yeah, getting in front of that.
And we just tell
it's
them-
actually not addressing the problem is the problem.
That's the problem,
Right.
because they're used to problems.
Yeah, they're like, fine, problem, solve it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Problems are made for solutions.
Yeah. But hiding it, that doesn't work.
All right, what's your favorite car on the lot?
If I had one, I don't know if I have one. They're all like
Which
they're
one
like
did you fall?
children,
Which
right?
one did you fall in love with, though?
They're like children. It's hard to pick
What
one.
was your
I'm-
first love then? What was the first car you remember being like, I need that vehicle?
It's not on the luxury end. My first car,
That's
my
fine.
first
Did it
car
have
was
the
a
windows
Mustang.
that roll up and down? right.
My first car was a Mustang. I fell in love with a Mustang when I was a kid. I was probably 7 or 8 years old when I saw one. And this was roughly around a little bit
what
before
year-
Vanilla Ice.
what year
right?
Mustang, like-
let's just call it a little before
Did you
Vanilla
say-
Ice.
Okay, fair. Got it.
I know exactly the one.
You know the one,
I was
the
born in
convertible, right?
79. I know exactly the one you're talking about. I agree. That's a good
little
one.
bit before then, but then that was the car, and that was my first car. It was my second car. It was my third car. It was
Wow.
my first 5 cars were Mustangs.
So tell me about how you feel about the Mach-E. Wait, no, don't do that. I'm just kidding.
It has the Mustang name in
Yeah.
name.
Mustang Mach-E, I don't
Tate,
know.
it's been so much fun to spend a little time with you today, and I just want to thank you again for offering to take us for a ride in the Vanquish.
Pleasure's all mine, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.